George Blechy here with Zach Cox after the Patriots 25-20 loss. You want the full breakdown of that? Go to our other video on Nesson's YouTube page. But for right now, we got to talk about the big halftime ceremony and pregame at that too. Tom Brady returned to Foxborough wearing his Patriots jersey, the old ones, the better ones, of course. But Zach, what do you take away? It's tough to honor someone of his stature, his magnitude in halftime and pregame. I feel like the Patriots did it right. What stood out to you about that halftime ceremony and all the pageantry around TB12 today?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. You had Brady running out of the tunnel at halftime doing his "Let's Go" thing with the Jay-Z song playing. He was up on the new lighthouse before the game, ringing a bell. He's called like the Keeper of the Light or something like that. Some new tradition similar to like what the Seahawks do and the Chiefs do.
Yeah.
Something that's now going to be apparently a weekly staple here at Gillette Stadium. That was Tom Brady was the inaugural member of that. But I thought they did a good job with the halftime ceremony. Obviously, a pretty small window to fit in something with so much pageantry. But obviously, the biggest takeaway from that was Robert Kraft announcing that the Patriots are going to waive the 4-year waiting period for the Patriots Hall of Fame. Tom Brady is going in next summer, June 11th, and they're going to be having that event, that ceremony, inside Gillette Stadium rather than out there on the kind of concourse outside of the Hall of Fame.
Fill the stadium
I'm
again.
sure they're going to fill the stadium for that. I'm sure it's going to be a very large crowd here in June. But I mean, it's Tom Brady. Obviously, I would have been surprised if they waited those full 4 years to get him the honor that he deserves in there.
And I think what jumped out to me, he wore the 12. Like, that gave me chills. Ringing the bell before it was perfect. We're waiting. Where is he going to come out onto the field? What is he going to do pregame? They bring him out. It got the crowd into it. Certainly, they had momentum going to the locker room at halftime. Luckily, gave him some coming out. But also, I think you saw a lot of what it meant for Tom Brady to be back. It wasn't the easiest divorce between the two of them, of course. They gave him chump change. He said, I'll go to Tampa, won a ring. I get that. But for him to wear the jersey, for him to bring his kids and his parents here, you saw how much it meant. And for him to come out and say, no matter what, I'm a Patriot for life. I love you guys to the fans. I feel like it said a lot. It's really tough to cram that type of ceremony into 10 minutes. It didn't take the full 10 minutes, and they nailed it on the head, in my opinion.
I think it was a good sense of closure for a lot of people involved.
Great point.
Robert Kraft said right at the beginning of his halftime speech that as soon as he realized that Tom Brady was retiring, he wanted to bring him back here as soon as possible in this home opener to have this celebration. I know there's the argument that, yeah, maybe they should have waited, maybe they should have kind of done this a little bit further down the line, but I actually think it makes sense to just kind of bring him back here, celebrate him, give Bill Belichick and all of the Patriots players a chance this week to just rave about Tom Brady and tell all their old stories and just kind of welcome him back into the family, so to speak. There were a lot of those ex-teammates who made the trip back here. I was talking with James Devlin, the Patriots fullback, before the game. I was like, hey, a lot of you guys came back, right? He's like, it's Tom Brady, man. Of course we're coming back. He said this was like the perfect kind of setting to honor him too, and in a season opener against a good team where the kind of expectations and the vibe is already high. So I think it sort of closed the ring on a lot of that animosity that we saw from the last couple of years, and now fully transitioned Brady into kind of Patriots legend mode, not Tom Brady, this guy who played for the Patriots, and then also played for this other team and maybe has some disagreements with Bill Belichick. It's all kind of, all of that seems to be water under the bridge at this point.
Really smart for Robert Kraft, too. Let me go out, retire his jersey number, give him into the Hall of Fame with the Patriots before the Buccaneers even do it, because they don't have much history to them also. And something to point out, as you mentioned, teammates, Malcolm Butler, Jamie Collins was here. We saw Darrelle Revis in the crowd as well. I always throw curveballs your way. Favorite Tom Brady memory for you growing up or covering the team?
Favorite Tom Brady memory. I mean, my first Super Bowl that I covered on this job was the Falcons Super Bowl down in Houston. Trying to cover that fourth quarter, I think I still basically just blacked out for that entire 15, 20 minutes. It was kind of, that's sort of the seminal Tom Brady game, in my opinion. That's the game that really launched him not launched him, but kind of solidified his status as the greatest quarterback of all time. After that point, you couldn't really make that argument, and to be able to be there in person in Houston for that crazy game, that's something that'll always stick with me.
I go back, I was 7 years old. I grew up, my parents immigrated here from Lebanon, don't know anything about sports. 2001, Patriots win a Super Bowl. I recognize the guy from his Michigan days. I'm like, all right, I'll root for them. Like, it's their first one ever. How good can they be? When I was covering the Chiefs in Missouri, he was ripping out those fans' hearts, and then today it's wild to see how long his career spanned and also every phase of it.
He's got an eye for talent, George, right here. Look at that. Even 7-year-old George, he knows what he was doing.
Hey, I think Christian Gonzalez will be pretty good. We'll start there. All right, for George Blechy, Zach Cox, that's all breaking down the Tom Brady ceremony. Catch all full coverage for the Patriots all week long, week by week, all season long. Nesson, Nesson.com, Nesson360 on Nesson's YouTube page. Have a great day, everyone.
PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.